deepest or darkest fears?
Deepest.
As to tack it on, like number 6, if I ever fucking, lost my Beyblade that I won.
Lost your what?
The Beyblade that I won.
Sure. Yeah, your one big V.
Do you keep it somewhere, like in a glass case or anything?
I don't fucking know where it is.
So you have lost it. Fuck! Your deepest fear has been realized.
I gotta go! Welcome to Oops All Segments, the very best podcast hitting your eardrums at this very moment. I'm Kevin.
I'm Thomas, and today we are here with emergency guest, Luke Cecelon.
Why would you call me that?
He smashed the glass and hit the red button, and Luke showed the fuck up.
We were in crisis mode, and then we had to ask someone. Here he is, Luke Cecelon.
In fact, we asked a group, and Luke was the first one to say yes.
I canceled all my hangouts, my events. I was like, these are my friends, and they need me, and they would not ask me unless they needed me.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? Like, I know that you were about to go on, like, it was like the 7th date on like a pretty like it was like the relationship was like really on the cusp of like something special. You'd said that you maybe were gonna like kind of broach like a larger long-term kind of relationship question tonight, and you were really excited about it. But I'm really glad that instead of doing that, you're here.
Yeah, you even described it. You said was. It's in past tense. It's done. It's over. It's not happening no more.
It was starting to interfere with the emergency podcast requests, and much like Peter Parker, Luke had to make some sacrifices for the greater good.
and no one will ever know.
Because our listener base is so small.
So minimal. Oh, man. Well, Luke, we usually start the show with a check-in. Of course, you're an old friend of the show, folks who
There's
listened before.
Simply no time for a check-in today. It's an emergency podcast.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
We
Luke,
can't
how are
even
you
hear
in
how
10
you
seconds
are.
or less? 10 seconds or less, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I found a new
2,
bike path. It's by like water
4,
and like it's pretty cool. There's like barely any stop signs.
7.
I like it.
That was the less than 10 seconds. Incredible.
Yeah, man. That's I deliver.
You deliver.
Say.
That's incredible. Yeah.
Kevin, how are you?
I'm good.
1, 2, 3,
it's incredibly hot in Winnipeg right now, like
10,
far too hot, and
15.
It sucks.
That's time, unfortunately.
Thomas, how are you doing? Take as much time as you would like.
Oh, thank you so much for asking. Life in some ways is a journey, isn't it, folks? I feel like there are obstacles, but there are also little boosts that help you get along on your way. And as for me, it really takes me back to being a youth. I was creative, I was intelligent, my teachers loved me, but I had some potential that I felt was unfulfilled. And I've spent the last more than a decade really living up to every expectation. And in some ways that can give you imposter syndrome, because how can you keep up perfection? But so far I have been able to, and that's been nice. And really, without breaking a sweat in some ways, like it just, I don't know, just good at stuff, I guess. So as a counselor, one of the challenges that I thought I might have would be relating to people who haven't been as successful as me, or been as intelligent as me, or been as skilled as me. But amazingly, I'm great at that too. Even though I haven't experienced any obstacles, I can fully emotionally, because I'm an empath, sort of get inside the heads of the people who share with me effortlessly. And they feel heard in a way that they never have before.
Thomas, can you quickly like immediately grasp how Kevin and I are feeling right now in this moment?
You guys are strangely proud of me. Like, you both think I'm so cool and good, and Kevin's sort of strangling himself with his own microphone.
That's what it looks like.
which might to some undiscerning viewers appear to express distress, but I know that Kevin is doing this as a way of passing the torch. I will be running the podcast now, and I appreciate that, Kevin. So thank you for committing seppuku on the show, as we've long talked about.
I'm sure that'll make for great audio. Like
An honor killing in front of
on air. I finally
on
did
air
it.
Honor. An on air killing is what I meant to say.
We are in emergency mode. So let's dive in with our first segment, a warm up segment.
great.
You ready for me to spin that wheel, T?
Let's spin it.
Step off camera to spin the wheel.
Okay, this segment is 79. Fill her up. Shit, forgot to think of a segment. Find a way to fill 5 minutes.
Are you fucking joking? Okay. Well, now we do have time. We have been gifted time from the ever-present wheel. Find a way to fill 5 minutes. What
Luke,
was...
is there...
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Kevin.
No, Thomas. Please, ask our guest a question.
I was curious if Luke had any thing that he wanted to use as a prompt for this empty segment.
Yeah. Like, loosely, I'll call it just never being happy, but...
Whoa.
Okay.
So, earlier I said, like, I found a new bike lane. I'm really happy with it. That's like a half-truth. It is... It is a nice bike lane. It is cool. It's long. It's alongside the the lake in Toronto. And I was like, man, this is this long stretch of golden road to enjoy. And because it is like a cyclist progressive city in some ways, there's so many cyclists that don't know what they're doing. They're clogging up traffic. And it's like, I got what I wanted. I wanted a dedicated bike path. And it's full of all these like chumps who don't know how to ride, and it's like it's traffic for bikes, and it's like it's the same thing.
You see, Luke, this is the ails of communism. This is when you open the doors for all. All must experience, and the suffering must be evenly distributed. So true. No, that's
yeah, that's the problem with communism. Other people.
That's a pity. Do you have? I feel like that is sort of the Luke brand, is like getting something that you want, but it being not everything you thought it would be, and actually, in fact, usually being worse.
Luke, do you know what a pyhrric victory is?
I have not heard that term before, but I have a feeling you're gonna tell me.
Case in point.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've been describing it thusly.
Is that what it is?
It's not really, but it's like when you achieve something, but in order to get it, the losses outweigh the victory kind of thing.
That's not quite this. That's not quite.
That isn't. No. I was just curious if you knew what it was. It's irrelevant.
Right. This is more like a Lukic victory.
That's
I thought. Yeah.
For the next 5 minutes.
Are you familiar with the sword of Damocles, Luke?
I believe it's pronounced Damocles.
Okay.
Damn.
Case in point. I think if you design, especially if infrastructure is not everywhere, if you design like one piece that's especially good, it's going to be overused because everyone's like, well, this is the really good one. And then it will be crowded. Like, I mean, these aren't that great, but the trains on Chicago, pretty good transit system, but at rush hour, it's like packed and miserable because
Kara and I have like sort of been watching through Curb Your Enthusiasm, and this is like Larry gives away his secret, which is like a good way to get through a place in like from like Hollywood to somewhere else in Los Angeles, and then he like shares it, and then everybody starts using it, and it like ruins his fucking route. It's what happens. It's just like if there's only one good way, it shall be clogged. I don't know if I've had a Lukeism happen to me in quite a while. My victories, much like Thomas described, my victories have been big victories. Big capital V.
Nice. Can you name one?
Like I once
sounds like it was a long time ago. First of all,
I once. Yeah, I once. You guys remember? You guys remember Beyblades?
Yeah, baby.
Beyblades, I do. Yeah,
Let it rip.
the sort of the biggest losers on the school ground.
Hold the
played
fuck
with
on.
those, as
Hold
I
the
recall.
fuck on. Hold the fuck on. I
Mhm.
had a Beyblade, entered a competition, won some other kids'
Really?
Beyblade. Yeah.
An actual competition? Did you get a prize?
Yeah, the other kid's Beyblade. It was it was in his fucking garage, okay? But I won.
Okay.
That was like, I don't know, 2000 and like 2000.
So Thomas was right.
Gotcha.
It was a long time
It was a
ago.
really long time ago.
Well, like
You
time
won
is
a
relative, right?
Beyblade.
Like I don't know if it's like
and like at the time, sure, when you're a child,
I'm
that
talking
feels
my
like a
most
big
recent
victory.
big V victory, right? Like
I know,
I'm
but
saying
yeah,
that's
but
the
as an
best
adult,
thing.
you can sort of look back and say, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, that's dust. That's nothing, you know.
No. And you know what? And it wasn't a Luke. It was pyhrric though, because in order to win, I had to fucking bleed
What
and sweat.
sacrifices did you make?
And
Yeah.
I had to.
Can you outline some of them?
$13.95 for the Beyblade.
You somehow got mic feedback. You said that's so loud.
Kevin, for your Beyblade, now, 'cause I've seen the show a few times. Did you have some kind of like soul spirit animal in yours? And more to the point, did yours have a name that you'd have to call out and be like, fight harder, scale back?
Of course.
Well,
It had
fucking
both of
tell
those
us
things.
what it is.
I mean, the fucking spirit animal obviously was a fucking snake, right? Badass as fuck. It's cool.
Badass as fuck.
It's got fucking fangs and shit.
Wait,
Though there's
Slow
venom.
down. It's a snake, and we
Yeah.
accept that. It has
Yeah.
fangs, it has venom, and then in the middle, you said badass as fuck.
Yeah, it's a badass.
badass as fuck.
Yes.
I thought you said
No.
badass,
I heard-
is fuck. Like
I heard
that's
the
the
same
type
thing.
of person
Yeah.
who fucks.
Yeah. People who has snake Beyblades, they fuck.
Listen, the snake is badass as fuck. Also, moral of the story, I kind of snuck it in there, foreshadowing. Badasses, fuck. I love my life,
Sure, yeah. And it's
except for like
clear-
the last 23 years or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
Has
So
it been
when
5
you
minutes?
were
Is that
what?
5 minutes now?
You were what, 9 and you won a Beyblade, and then since then it's been just nothing for 2+ decades.
I'm good. is
How
what
many
I'm saying.
times have you had, have you fucked since then, would you say?
Like, it's what the fuck is up, guys? Let's like talk about
You're a garter snake, bro. I'm serious. Your snake foreskin.
Jesus.
just a husk.
Oh, boy.
You're gaseous snake. You're not even one of the guys in the game.
What?
Liquid,
You're a solid
gas.
snake,
Oh my
liquid. You're
God.
gaseous snake.
Most unappealing name I've ever heard.
That's what it looks like when you put infrared goggles on and watch someone fart. Like,
Gash. That's a shark, though. It's a gaseous snake.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually my favorite boxer. Gaseous.
I was gonna say that same thing.
gaseous.
Introducing the man formerly known as Gaseous Snake, Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
I am so sorry.
Pretty good.
That was 5
Float
minutes.
like
Should
a
we?
butterfly. Sting like a beehole.
Nice. This is
Dynamite.
class. This is our classiest episode yet.
Yeah. Well, we filled more than 5 minutes. Let's maybe spin that wheel, or should we? How long has it been? Can we?
No, yeah, let's spin the wheel again.
Let's do another. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Boom.
Woo! Number 5, rapid fire. Participants must rapid fire name the first 5 things that come to mind when you think of deep fears. We are going to begin with Luke.
Heights immediately. People not having their own faces. Fucking losing my fucking badass as fucking scares the shit out of me. Telling myself I'm gonna back up my hard drive and then I don't, and then like the computer barely starts the next time. I'm like, shit, I should have backed up my hard drive. I tell this to myself every day, and it just doesn't happen. Oh fuck. Missiles over my head.
Oh yeah, sure.
Very good.
Yeah,
all real
5?
fears. That was 5.
Should we keep doing the rapid fire and then come back to the things?
Yeah,
said?
we'll talk about anything that stood out for us, Kevin.
Okay, yeah.
You're up next. Here we go.
Okay. Yeah. Spiders. Starving, like starvation. Cosmic horror. The idea of like going outside and something like so unfathomably large, like looking at the planet or something like that. That kind of scares the shit out of me. Is it deepest or darkest fears?
Deepest.
Okay. That everybody I know is lying to me all of the time.
Sure.
And sort of like this is maybe a spin-off of that, but my fifth one is like kind of like if the Truman Show was like real but bad. And like
the movie was pretty bad.
I mean, like I guess so, but like even more bad than that.
Even worse because it's me.
Because it's me. And
bad morning, bad afternoon, and bad night.
As to tack it on, like number 6, if I ever fucking lost my Beyblade that I won.
Lost your what?
The Beyblade that I won.
Sure. Yeah, your one big V.
Do you keep it somewhere, like in a glass case or anything?
I don't fucking know where it is.
So you have lost it. Fuck! Your deepest fear has been realized.
I gotta go!
And we are all lying to you as well.
No!
Thomas,
I don't hear that part.
Thomas, your 5 deepest fears.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, spiders.
Yeah.
That, like losing people who are close to me. That I have no creative ability, sort of like the lying thing. Like people have just been sort of gassing me up and I don't really have it. Fear of my parents getting old and dying is real. And lastly, like sort of being seen as a failure.
Sure. Yeah.
I feel like the odd one out of our fears. I feel like you both have very like rational human fears, and then my stuff was
Luke,
I
believe the second thing you said was people not having their own faces. And I would love to
we had a bit more time to think about it.
Yeah,
do you mean
Yeah, when you imagine people not having their own faces, does that mean that they have the faces of somebody else, or that they just don't have faces?
That they don't have faces. One of my first nightmare that I can clearly recall that has like impacted my life, both tied to heights. The heights was in there somewhere, but it was like my dad driving me to this library. The library was like somehow elevated on this super huge highway. It was a nightmare to get to it. To get into the library, you had to like climb up a cargo net, which seems kind of fun.
That is fun.
But then once we were in the library, my dad was looking for books, and then he just didn't have his face anymore. So, and he was like clearly talking to me or addressing me, but he just didn't have his face. And then no one else had their faces, but the rest of them was there. So like I knew who they were supposed to be, but they didn't have their face. And it was.
Have you seen Eternal Sunshine? Because there's that scene where everyone's face is sort of like masked over with skin, and it's very creepy and scary. Yeah.
I mean, that's terrifying.
Yeah. So like that's like it hasn't happened to me so far in life,
right?
But did you find that playing Tears of the Kingdom triggered your fear of heights, because I've heard for some people it's pretty like freaky at first, the just like being up so high and like dealing with that, even though you have the glider and all the tools.
No, that's felt pretty fine and normal. But if I were to do like a VR thing where I had to like cross a plank that was on ground level and they turn on like one fan, I would like freak the fuck out. I'd be like, oh my god, I am 30 stories in the air.
Yeah.
So you must just like not fuck with Lin-Manuel Miranda's shit, eh?
With the what? Sorry?
Lin-Manuel Miranda's shit, like, like you just must like not fuck with it at all, right?
That dude's crazy.
In the Heights,
Why?
right? Because he had a show called In the Heights.
Yep.
Have you seen it?
No.
Washington Heights. They
Fuck!
pronounce it in the
fucking
movie
hate
trailer.
doing this shit.
In the movie trailer, they pronounce it Washington, even though nobody would ever pronounce it that way.
Well, I've never seen the trailer because I'm afraid of heights too.
But it's not a
Cool.
top 5 fear for you, clearly.
No.
Yeah.
But
You both had spiders as your number 1.
Well, it's
Yeah.
just a clear, like, that's my phobia of, like, a big spider biting me. That's, like, my
Yeah.
big, like, ugh.
the moment I can remember it like sort of crystallizing for me, because like when I was young I used to like legitimately be like, oh, I can't be near it, it's making me gag, but like I couldn't finish the game Skyrim because there were too many quests that required me to go into like caves where spiders were around, and I had done it multiple times in the game, but it was like testing my endurance, and I was like, I can't keep going in and hearing all the skittering noises and I hate dealing with like that kind of stuff. I'm like seeing a spider in the house and taking it outside or killing it, I'm like more or less okay with these days, but yeah, I don't know. They just are freaky looking, I think. Like the eyes and the fucking legs. Ugh.
Yeah, man. You got 8 of everything. Like, who does that?
That's too many. That's 8 is too fucking much. I think 8 of anything is enough.
How do you feel about octopus?
Riding that fucking line, but he's only got like 2 eyes, so
Sometimes when you get calamari and there's one that's a little spidery, it freaks me out, like to put it in my mouth. Like the rings are fine, and then there's one with like a bunch of legs poking out, and it's like, ugh.
I can't fuck with food if it's like if it looks a little too much like what it was supposed to be when it was alive. Like, I don't love the pig roast thing. I hate seeing like a head of an animal. So yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Don't.
Well, those are our deepest fears. So if you ever want to use them against us, now you know.
Now you know. Now you know.
And our
I
next
think our other
thing,
deepest fear is that people would hear a podcast other than this and decide to listen to that instead of this.
but we have to face it
We have to face
by
our
promoting a show that is probably great. Here
fears.
we
So
go.
listen up right now.
Do you smell that? It's Bullshit Alert, the podcast where we lie, cheat, steal, and sometimes, yes, sometimes, it's the truth. Think you can sniff it out? Join Stephen Carter, Danny Marshall, and Lily Moss each week where we invite new guests, new stories, and of course, new bullshit. Find Bullshit Alert on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you listen to podcasts.
If you guys fuck me now, I'm gonna be so pissed. Okay?
What?
If you guys fucking
If we fuck you.
Like,
yeah. If you guys, the second half of this show is as fucking stupid and shitty.
I think we had some good riffs, actually. It felt like
We're
the
back.
energy was pretty relaxed and like,
We're back.
okay.
So don't.
Kevin seems tense today, but Luke, it's honestly been really nice having you here. And
I don't know,
I
man.
think-
Every time I go on, like, Kevin just can't make eye contact. He addresses you, not me. He mutes my audio repeatedly.
Sometimes he says, "I can't hear myself think," and he mutes all of us.
Fucking hold on!
So there's something that I think about with Kevin. When Kevin was trying to show me Headgum podcast, I think that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
There's a specific clip where is it Jeff? That's the guy who runs it.
Jeffrey James, yeah.
Jeffrey James. He's zoned out in the middle of the podcast. People are talking. They start asking him questions. He's not responsive. He cuts back in, and then he just says, "Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was just thinking about how I was going to cut the segment anyway, so it didn't matter what you guys were saying." And it was so sincere and great.
You put me into a fucking corner by explaining my entire inspiration, and now I have to earnestly answer and engage with you. I can't continue to bit through it.
Yeah.
No, there's no fucking way in hell, Luke, that you brought a segment, right? We asked you
I brought a segment
20 minutes ago.
You did? Baby.
I'm a segment
delivers.
machine.
Luke sees the SOS symbol in the sky, and he comes up with a segment, Toot Sweet.
Yes.
I'm sorry, true love. You're going to have to wait. I got to make a segment for my buddy's podcast.
I just imagine Luke being on a date and then being like, I have to go home. What if they hit number 53 and it's called Luke? You know?
I have to be sitting by the phone at all times.
I can't take that chance. Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, I got a segment for you. I was thinking of so many segments, but then I thought, you know what? Nah. We're going to go with...
He leaves.
The segment is I fuck off. Your podcast is done. I wanted to actually combine you two in your knowledge, in your interests, in your wealth of experience in a segment I call Modern Day Wrestling. So, back in the day of wrestling, and again, Kevin being the wrestling champion of knowledge.
Sure.
I mean, I haven't watched wrestling for the last 4
doesn't fucking
years.
matter. I know you know your shit.
But I do know my shit.
Cream of the crop.
The cream.
But in those early days, wrestlers were symbolized, characterized. It wasn't like today you have, I'm trying to think of people's names. You have Rock, you have Brock Lesnar,
John
you have
Cena.
names and personality, where before it was occupations. It was the sergeant or the chef or whatever.
I mean, I think both were true, but there was definitely a lot more of literally this person has a job and that's their wrestler. Yeah,
This
that was
job?
Was that also the era of just different
80s.
nationalities?
Yeah.
I'm the Russian guy.
Well, because being from Africa was a job back then.
it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it.
Oh my god!
Oh shit! But So anyway, Luke.
So we have Kevin's knowledge of wrestling and all that, and then Thomas's mental health therapy, all that knowledge. What I want is if we had modern day wrestling that followed the same trends, I would presume that we would have wrestlers that were iconic of mental health illnesses.
Okay.
Problems. If you were a wrestler and you had to be a mental health problem, difficulty, which one would you be? What would be your special move?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Would you be the anxiety?
Yeah. That's a great question.
Yeah.
I like this a lot.
This is interesting. So, do you mean for us, the mental illness we struggle with,
if
or
I'm
just
if I'm Kevin,
it doesn't have to be what you might struggle with, but what you think you might make a good wrestler. I'll start because I already thought about it and make it nice and easy. I thought of a wrestler called the Panic Attack, which sounds both threatening and relatable. Their special move is the sleeper hold, sleeper choke hold, whichever one literally makes it hard for you to breathe. Like that's what they
Sure.
do to their opponent.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, man, this makes a lot of sense.
So they're inducing panic in the opponent, or are they so panicky that they like move really fast and like?
It's probably a bit of both, but like,
What's the costume of the panic attack? Like, what's because like wrestlers are outfitted,
I think if it's a panic attack, so to fight panic attacks, you have to like calm down. You name colors, you name shapes. So it has to be wild. It has to be like multicolors, too bright.
Oh yeah.
The costume doesn't make sense, and it is hard to like recognize.
It's like
think
hard
of
to
a Jackson
conceive.
Pollock painting and double it.
You like look at it and it is unfathomable.
Like I can't handle what this thing is doing, so I'm gonna drop down.
Yeah, that's terrifying. I like it. That's good. Okay. What do you got, T? Do you have something on the cusp?
I was trying to think of a joke using DSM for the name of which is like the big handbook of mental disorders and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the DSM, the deluxe super match would be the fight between these wrestlers. But because I was thinking of that, I haven't yet decided which one will be my fighter. But I can just pick something and we can sort of work it out. So let's do borderline personality disorder, because it's a very it's a very popular one on TikTok and stuff right now.
Yeah.
So this disorder is interesting because one of the things it's characterized by are these extremes of like idealizing people and then like seeing them as worthless, terrible. So like these two kind of unrealistic extremes in your relationships with others.
I see.
And it can lead to like certain behaviors that might be like, I don't know, like really antisocial behavioral impulses and stuff. But I like the idea of building someone up so much and then slamming them down. Like that's like the suplex of emotional issues. Like
I see
genuinely.
it.
Go ahead.
They put like they put their opponent on the corner on that like stoop
Turnbuckle. It's called the turnbuckle.
Thank you. See, Kevin's got the knowledge, man.
I got the knowledge.
They put them on there. They start praising them. They start like bowing to them, and then as they get in close to like kiss their feet, they just like rip them off and like smash their head on the ground or something.
Yeah.
Like what you described is like how wrestling traditionally shows what's called a face or heel turn. It's like often represented by just this characters probably have bipolar disorder, because like they'll be best friends and then they'll just like all of a sudden attack. I think I've got an idea. I was thinking of potentially.
Sorry, but before you go, Thomas, what does your dude look like? A special move in costume, like.
Yeah. So let's see. Visually, I feel like they look like.
Is it like Two-Face from Batman?
Yeah, maybe. Well, it's tough because like I don't want to give the impression that it is like. I can't even remember the like dissociative identity disorder is the current name for like split personality. And it's not like that. It's also not quite like bipolar, but it has just like these intense mood swings and like emotional instability kind of thing. So yeah, I feel like maybe they have almost like Saturn's rings going around them to indicate the wild fluctuations that could come up.
That's a hard costume to wrestle in.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna actually pitch a stable. A stable in wrestling is when you have multiple people, like a tag team or like three individuals or something like that.
Legion of Doom,
NWO, D-Generation X, a lot of really famous groups. Even the mega powers, Hulk Hogan and Randy the Macho Man Savage would be considered a tag team or a stable at some point. I would consider this stable to be, I guess the your autonomic nervous response system, and so there's going to be fight, flight, and freeze are going to be the three members of the team, and one of them is going to be like the brawler who's just like ready to go. The other one is never comes out to the ring.
You never see flight.
Yeah, you just no. Flight makes it out to the ring, but they're always running. They always leave their partner hanging. Freeze is always credited as coming out. You can always see them like almost making it through the curtain, but they never come out. They're all dressed in Fight is dressed in really aggressive, sort of like bloody knuckles on his hands, wrapped bandages, and ripped jeans and like an aggressive shirt. Flight is in the most aerodynamic costume you could possibly imagine, something akin to like the Flash, but less problematic. And Freeze,
the Flash is a fine character. It's Ezra Miller that's the problem.
Well. I mean, I'm sure the Flash is fucked up at least once in his comic book history as well. And what I'm saying is that Flight would never do such a thing.
Sure.
And so those are my
That's very good.
ANR, the ANR team, the Autonomic Nervous Response team.
Yeah.
I like that. I want to tag on to that too. Then with Panic Attack, their tag team buddy is just going to be Anxiety. Shows up to every match, but doesn't do anything.
But Anxiety is like, trust me, it's helpful that I'm here.
They're a manager. They're like the valet that comes with you and doesn't do anything and cheers and gets in the fucking way. And you always fucking lose the match.
One other one I thought of just briefly that's very common in the mental health field is adjustment disorder, which basically just means you're adjusting to some life transition or some change, like something that happened that's difficult. It's like a common diagnosis when you don't fit into one of the other camps. And I just think it would be funny if there's just a wrestler who's just always like clearly moving to a new apartment or something, or like just like in between life stages and is never quite comfortable.
In the 80s when they all have jobs, there's one guy who's just unemployed. Like he's just like, this is the plumber, this is the construction worker.
His
and then
parents got divorced like that Jonathan. Week, and he's just like dealing with that.
Fuck, like
he's always about to pull off a move, but then just like stops halfway and is like, oh, what am I doing?
He sees someone that looks like his dad in the crowd, and he's like, "Oh, fuck!"
One of the most messed up disorders in the DSM that is very controversial, because many argue it should not be considered a disorder, is prolonged grief disorder. But it would be funny if that were a wrestler.
That's just the Undertaker.
Sad for too long about someone dying.
This is a true story about the Undertaker. I don't know if you guys have ever seen, like, you must have seen a video of the Undertaker entrance, right? It's very long. He takes these long steps, right? It's a true story about the industry that Taker would intentionally, if he knew and didn't, if he was wrestling somebody and he knew he was going to lose and he didn't respect them, he would make his entrance take like twice as long. He would just like he would just extend the shit out. If he just like was like, I have to lose to this guy and he's a fucking chump, I'm gonna do an extra long entrance.
That's
like,
great.
What the fuck?
Is that because like let's say the fight has to last 15 minutes? And he's like, I'm going to eat up 9 minutes with an intro so that...
I wonder. Maybe you just have to work less hard. That is true. At his fucking age, I think he's still doing matches, which is insane. And, so, eat up as much time as you can with the pomp and circumstance so that, the 3 body slams you have to take don't put you in the hospital. Fuck.
We should start doing that with our guests, like really extend our intros if we don't respect them.
Yeah. Thomas, how would you describe Luke? He's so, just like, let's really, just like going into it for so long.
Introduce the guest like halfway through the show. Oh, by the way, here's a guest.
By the way, sitting there patiently. Well, today we really paid you a compliment, Luke, because we rushed through the intro.
Yeah, we barely said who you were. Fans of the show will know.
Triple appearance. You got to feel a little good about that.
You are our most frequent guest.
Nice. Do I get like a medal or a Beyblade reward out of that?
Don't come for my shit, dude.
As soon as we find Kevin's Beyblade, we'll talk.
Don't you fucking get
all right, let's do one more segment because we got to do another podcast after this, listeners.
We do.
We live very busy lives. Woo!
I have a quick question. Every time that wheel spins, like Kevin has to leave the camera. Are you spinning an actual wheel every time? Because that's what it looks like.
Yeah, that's what it is. There's a huge
cool.
wheel in the studio. It's got 100 things on it, and then Thomas in Chicago can see it. No, I have to push a button on the soundboard.
Number 87, taboo. Participants must play taboo with each other.
Oh, okay.
So I just found a free online taboo.
Oh, great.
So it's going to give me cards. Do you know the rules, Luke?
Nope. I have never played this game before. I don't know what it is.
So we'll see if we all want to do it, but it's pretty quick, actually. You get a minute. So if I go first, I would get a card where there's a word at the top I want you guys to guess, but there's 5 words underneath it that I can't say. So I can say anything else, but there's like 5 related words. So for example, this first card is tennis, but I can't say racket, ball, game, player, or sport. So I have to like be creative in describing it. Maybe I could say like you hit a round thing over a net. Like I could say that. I would be allowed to. And then you would guess taboo, and we would see how many we can get in 60 seconds.
Okay.
And then
cool.
each of us can try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So why don't I go first?
Send us the link somehow, T?
Yeah, I'll send it's shout out lingolex.com.
Shout out to lingolex.com. You want to get your dick sucked? You want to go to Taboo Town? That's where you gotta go.
Lingolex? More like cunnilingus sex.
Smooth.
Okay.
Let's fucking
all right.
go, dude. Let's fucking go.
So we're gonna start. I got 60 seconds on the clock. Let's see how many we can do. Here we go. Okay. So this is a animal that is in the sky that might swoop down and pick up a creature.
Eagle.
Pelican. Okay.
Okay. This is in front of your house. It is
Mailbox.
pointy, and you might mow it.
Lawn.
Yep. Okay. This is a place in the UK, the main place.
London.
Yep. Okay. This is a tea named after the place you just mentioned.
Earl Grey.
London
Fog.
It's named after it. Did you just say it? What did you just say?
London Fog?
London Fog.
Yeah. It was fog. Okay. This is someone who creates for a living.
A poor person.
They might use like drama or colors.
A kindergarten teacher.
Drama or colors? Artist.
They create for a living. Yeah, artists. So for some reason the timer didn't go. I think that was about 60 seconds.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
Let's just wrap it up there. We got 5. Great job, perfect. Y'all. I don't know how to... Because whenever I clicked next, let me just quickly pilot test this. When I clicked next, it would like... I don't know how it registers... Because I would click next and then the timer would reset.
Oh, I think it's 60 seconds per guess. Also, I don't think we can use this unless we go because like I have it open and now that I'm looking at it, it's all your answers.
We'll just jump to like 10. Yeah. And then we can start
to like
there.
a different card.
Cool. Kevin, you want to go next?
Let me check quickly the. I'm just gonna check the instructions just in case.
Well, I'll just set a 60-second timer.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I think it's because. Yeah, each round lasts 60 seconds. Well, whatever. Yeah, we'll just time it ourselves.
I'll just time it here. Yeah, it's all good.
Great.
Okay, so Luke, are you going next or me?
You go next.
You want me to go next?
Yeah, you get the timer.
Okay, sure. We'll wrap it up with our Kevin. Guest. Okay, sounds good. I will start my timer, and I will click on the thing now.
Start at like 10 or something.
Yeah. Here we go. Okay. So, this is happens once a year to every person.
Christmas.
Birthday.
Oh shit.
Yes. You use this to look up things online.
Wikipedia, Google.
Yes.
Search.
This person gives you information when you are being when you are learning.
Teacher.
Yes. If you have Beyblades and you're with your friends and you're playing it out somewhere.
Big V.
No, it's like in an open space where young people might gather to play. Close.
Garage.
But it's like, Angels in the Out.
Baseball field.
Yeah, field. Oh, that's 60 seconds. Okay.
Nice. That was good.
Yeah. Okay.
The
I don't know how
Beyblade
many
thing
I got.
really threw me off.
That was, I started at 16. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4.
That's okay. I'm jumping up to the top. I'm going to number 50.
Okay.
Damn.
Just remember you have to do ones after it. So, okay, there's more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Count
Do you want me to
down.
time you again?
Down.
Here, so I can start timing you.
Yeah.
Or are you going to time yourself?
I got this.
'Kay.
You guys ready?
Yep.
Boom. Oh fuck! I should read those. You send it.
Letter.
Nope.
Message.
Fuck. Okay.
Text.
It's rectangles. It's a rectangle.
Box,
it has words
package,
on it.
shipping.
You send shit
Parcel.
on it.
A
It's,
rectangle with words on it. It's a letter envelope.
Close. Can I say close?
Mail.
Am I allowed to say close?
Mail. You can.
You send it to the office.
Post.
Yeah.
Postal?
So
Postage.
it's fuck.
Stamp.
Man.
Package? Shipping.
Oh God. It's the first word with a second word that
Post office.
Magic the Gathering uses this. All their stuff are
Postcard.
Yeah.
Postcard. Oh my God, that was hard.
Nailed it, right? Nailed that.
50.
This is something that you read. It's
Book.
Book. See, fucking, I'm the best at this.
You're allowed to say read? What the fuck is this?
I looked at the list. This is a sex move, but also a famous location in the world. It's a 3-person job.
Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
Sex
Oh,
move.
we're done. We're over. Yeah, that was it. We got it.
Yeah.
I'm glad
I
we
think
finished
were
with an
long
Eiffel Tower,
over
the
and
three
we just
of us.
needed to squeeze that one in.
Yeah, tense.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
I was like, I've never been to doggy style before.
I've never been to My Best Friend Watches.
Wow. We made it through our emergency episode. We have another podcast to record right away, so we got to get our sign-offs here. Luke, thank you so much for spinning the wheel with us. If you're listening at home and you enjoyed this, please rate us 5 stars on your podcast app, or subscribe, or say or drop a comment in the spaces down below. Tell your friends about the show. It's a lot of fun. Luke is on the show that we're about to go record is What We Do in the Basement. You can listen to that. That's our D&D show. It's fantastic. I'm pretty sure there's people waiting with bated breath upstairs to do it.
Yeah. And you can also see all of us at Club Soda Improv, The Ultimate Actor's Nightmare at the Winnipeg Fringe in July. Come check that out.
Come fucking see if you can Beyblade with me, motherfuckers.
They can.
Step up. Step up.
I'm Luke.